Imagine living on the moon. You may have the best view of the Earth. Instead of walking, you'll bounce from one place to another. There'll be absolute silence and darkness outside, but inside you could be growing potatoes, wheat, carrots, and you won't be alone. You'll have neighbors. But you might want to learn some Mandarin if you plan to talk to them. This is not science fiction. This could be the future. The Chinese are on the mission to conquer space. They have plans to mine the moon, to set up colonies on Mars, and to travel to the edge of our solar system. China wants to achieve all of this, and fast. And today, Beijing has taken the first step in this direction. China has begun assembling its own space station. 3 Chinese astronauts have reached there. For the next 3 months, they will be testing equipment, they will be testing life support systems, they'll be conducting experiments, and they will prepare living quarters for the next lot of astronauts. Today's launch is the third in a series of 11 missions. By next year, China wants to finish building this brand new space station. It is called Tianhe, or Heavenly Harmony. Once completed, this space station will be China's first long-term outpost in space, the first base that will have a permanent Chinese presence. And this is just the beginning, we are told. The Chinese want to build more such permanent homes across the solar system. China wants its flag on all major outposts, and it has already made a lot of progress. Since 2018, China has been launching more rockets than any other country. Last year, it became the second biggest spender on space programs, just behind the United States. So where is all of this money going? Space colonization. The first target is the moon. China is aiming for its first manned moon landing in 2036. And between 2036 and 2045, it wants to set up a permanent base there with Russia. Why do they need a base on the moon? 2 reasons. One is space mining. It is believed that the moon is rich in silicon, iron, magnesium, calcium, aluminium, manganese, titanium, and more. And going by one claim on NASA's website, the moon holds hundreds of billions of dollars worth of untapped resources. Plus, there are no borders on the moon. Not like China is deterred by borders, but having none is always better. So there are no rules to govern mining on the moon, which means all these resources are up for grabs. So if China were to set a base there first, then mine, grab and extract whatever it can and bring it back to Earth, it could build a monopoly on natural resources. Is this even possible? Yes, it is. And China has already done it. Last year in December, China successfully completed a mission to the moon. Its capsule returned with rocks from the moon. So China has already tested the idea of transporting minerals from the moon. The second reason why China wants a permanent base on the moon is Mars. Now, Mars, you know, is thousands of kilometers away from Earth. So the moon can serve as a pit stop, a sort of a petrol pump for travel to Mars. The moon has resources like hydrogen and oxygen that can be used to make rocket fuel. So space travelers can take off from the Earth without large supplies of rocket fuel. They can then reach the moon, refuel, and then head towards Mars. Reports say China wants to build this petrol pump on the moon, first for its own expansion to Mars and later to charge other travelers moving to Mars. So they will have to stop at a Chinese petrol pump on the moon on their way to the Mars. At least that's the plan. Next question. What will China do when it gets to Mars? Well, it is already imagining the future here on Earth. In 2019, China built what is called a Mars base in the deserts of Xinjiang. It had replicas of space pods, control rooms, sleeping areas, beds, and rovers, a lifelike Mars colony that was created to show how life on Mars could look like. plans like these, China could essentially launch a commercial enterprise in space, and that is not all. The Chinese space program wants to go beyond the moon and Mars. It has already lined up missions to explore asteroids, Jupiter and Uranus by 2040. So while governments are still trying to figure out how to contain China at the borders and on the high seas, Chinese astronauts are already gearing up to invade space and colonize it. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.